Yeah, we got another one. What's up? It's Chris, the Drone Geek, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Drones. Let's Talk Drones is brought to you by the Droning Company, the #1 online resource for commercial remote pilots based in the United States. Make sure you check them out online at thedroningcompany.com and across all major social media platforms. I've also got important links for the Droning Company linked in the description below. So I was just scrolling through Twitter and I happened to stumble upon a link to this article by DRONEDJ. It alluded to leaks for the DJI Air 3. Now, when I clicked on it, I knew that there was potential that it wouldn't quite be on par. But then I saw who the leaks were reportedly from, and I thought, no, this is definitely gonna happen. So DRONEDJ wrote up this article, which I'm gonna have linked down in the description below of this video as well. Leaks from Deals Drones. Now, you know, if you've been following this channel for any length of time and watching these videos, that there are really two main resources that I find on Twitter that leak information that tends to come to fruition when it comes to rumors and potential releases from DJI. That's our friend Jasper Ellens, and that's Deals Drones. You could also argue that I use Aceta LV, but I don't really use them as often as I do Deals Drones and Jasper Ellens. The images and the video that you see in this article are directly from tweets by Deals Drones. So now I'm sitting there thinking to myself, okay, we're going from a hypothetical to a very real possibility. So now I'm interested. My intrigue is piqued. I want to know what's this drone going to be all about. So I start scrolling through the article, and lo and behold, there's really not much information out. It's just the imagery of the drone was leaked, and there's really not a lot of specifications that we can go off of to understand just how powerful this drone is going to be. Now, there is some information in the article that helps us to maybe draw a picture of what we can expect from the DJI Air 3, and one of those pieces is the sensor size and the sensors on this drone. We've noticed that DJI has really leaned into the idea of having multiple sensors on one camera body, on one gimbal payload. And they showed that in the Mavic 3 series, both with the OG Mavic 3 as well as the Mavic 3 Pro. They've got multiple sensors on the same camera body, all capable of slightly different things. Looks like they're going to be following suit with the DJI Air 3 if any of this comes to fruition. It's reported that there's going to be a 1-inch sensor paired with either a 3x1/1.3 size sensor or a 7x1/2 inch sensor that's considered a telephoto lens. So that's what we're looking at in terms of camera capabilities with the DJI Air 3. And before we go any further, just having gotten that out there as to what we might be able to expect from this camera, I want to make it very, very clear that this is not fact. This is not stone cold fact in that it's proven and that this is absolutely what we're going to get. In fact, again, this is all leaks, this is all rumors, this is all speculation at this point. So please do not take what I'm saying in this video about this drone as stone cold fact. We don't know that for sure, but this is what we're speculating we can expect from the DJI Air 3. The only other figure that we got when it relates to the DJI Air 3 or the potential DJI Air 3 was the price tag, which was kind of odd because typically that's one of the last things to leak before the release of a drone. In this case though, it is estimated that this drone is going to fall right in the $1,100 range, somewhere in there. I think the exact figure was like $1,063 and some change, but I'm just gonna go ahead and for the sake of simplicity, say that it's going to be around $1,100 if, again, this information comes to fruition and it turns out to be true. But we still have questions on the flight time, we still have questions on the size, we still have questions on obstacle avoidance, on controller compatibility, and maybe one of the most important things when it comes to looking at a drone moving forward with DJI is SDK and API compatibilities. Now, a lot of people, especially smaller operations, 1 or 2 man operations, rely on these types of drones for doing simple mapping. And with the Mavic 3, we saw a huge problem in that the SDKs weren't released so that you can't actually use the imagery and the telemetry from the drone in any kind of mapping software to create a 2D or 3D digital map of an area that you survey. So really, until those questions are answered, it's kind of hard to get super excited about this outside of the fact of we're getting another DJI drone this year after they've already released a bunch of product over the last 12 months. It's sort of exciting that we are getting another drone from DJI. Maybe not so exciting for your wallet, but definitely exciting. And that brings me to my next thing is, okay, we've got just a little bit of information on the drone. What does the drone actually look like? I'm gonna share those with you right now. So as we roll through these photos and these videos, I just want to bring attention to a few things on this drone that I find interesting. First of all, this looks like a smaller version of the Mavic 3. Everything about it is pretty much on par in terms of the aerodynamic cutout of the drone, as well as the size of the gimbal related to the size of the drone body. Everything looks on par to be basically a smaller version of the Mavic 3. It does seem to tout some sort of obstacle avoidance. You can see at the front of the drone, it looks like there are some obstacle avoidance sensors there. Time will tell whether or not there will be two models, one with obstacle avoidance and one without, much like we saw in the Mini 3 Pro and the Mini 3. And it also appears to have larger housing for the camera sensors. So that's what leads me to believe that information we saw about having a 1-inch sensor and then a smaller telephoto sensor will come to fruition, is because that camera housing is larger than what we saw on the DJI Air 2S. The only other bit of information that we have is the potential release date for this drone. It is being projected that we will see the DJI Air 3 in either June or July of 2023. So it could be as simple as just a couple of weeks, maybe even days, or we could be waiting another month and a half or so before we see this drone. A word of caution to the wise. Remember what happened with the Mavic 3. Now, I'm not suggesting you shouldn't go out and buy the DJI Air 3. Not at all. DJI is one of, if not the best, drone manufacturer in the world. I would give a little bit of credence to Autel, but let's face it, a lot of people fly DJI. So I certainly am not going to speak out against their products or how proficient they are at performing the tasks they've been designed for. They are probably second to none. But we saw what happened with the Mavic 3. They started with the Mavic 3 OG, and that quickly became obsolete. I mean, within 9 months, the Mavic 3 OG was obsolete, and you can't even purchase it anymore from DJI. It's completely unavailable on their website. You have to either purchase the Classic or the Mavic 3 Pro. So if you're somebody with a limited budget and you want to buy a new drone, you're excited about the next iteration of the Air, just wait. Just take a breath. Appreciate the release, watch the content that YouTubers like myself put out about it, learn a little bit more about the drone's capabilities, and just wait. Because as we saw with the Air 2, or should I say the Mavic Air 2, and then the Air 2S, as well as the Mavic 3 series, there will be another version of this drone. I'm almost certain of it. We will see a DJI Air 3S. Again, speculation, but I've learned my lesson. I'm going to be taking my time moving forward when it comes to considering purchase of DJI hardware. But what do you think? Do you think that we are going to see an Air 3 in the next couple of months? If not, do you think we're going to see it later down the road this year? Or do you think that all of this is a bunch of BS and they're going to start to focus on the Mavic line of drones, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but I guess there's an argument for everything. Let me know down in the comments below. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. I know there wasn't a ton of information in it, but I hope that it at least informed you of the possibility of a new drone coming in the very near future from DJI. Again, give me a thumbs up if you liked this video for any reason at all. If you really liked this video and you love drone content made by drones, about drones, and for drone pilots, this is the channel for you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. And while you're at it, when you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon too. It'll give you a notification every time I post a new video. Until next time, I'm Chris, the Drone Geek, and I am out of here. See ya.